In right field, it will be Will Bordis batting second after him. Bordis had 4 hits in game 1. The top of this Bowdoin lineup is very dangerous, and they've shown that all season long. Pedeswa gets ahead of Siegel quickly 0-2.
Yeah, Ruben Siegel at the plate right now. He is, despite not putting up the biggest production numbers on Bowdoin, he's their regular leadoff hitter. Went 1 for 5 in game 1 today. And the reason for that, NESCAC leader in stolen bases. So once he gets on the base paths, watch out.
18 stolen bases entering today, and part of a Bowdoin team that loves Saran, a team that leads the NESCAC in stolen bases as a team. He'd like to get on base and use those wheels early today, but he will swing and miss at strike 3. Pedeswa starts off the day with a strikeout and 1 quick out here in the first.
Yeah, great to see that from Pedeswa. We've seen, as mentioned previously, in, for example, the Bates game, he really has that strikeout quality to just mow hitters down when he is on his day. Didn't quite get the K happening last time out, but it's a good start today.
Bordis now a two-way phenom for Bowdoin as he takes strike 1. Came into today batting .359 with a 920. We're back for the bottom of the first here in Medford, as we will see the first look at our Tufts offense here today in the second half of this doubleheader. It will be the second baseman, Jesse McCulloch, leading off, followed by the left fielder, Ben Leonard. Batting third, the third baseman, James Henshin. Batting cleanup, the right fielder, Cooper Smith. DHing and batting fifth, Max Pavlik. We'll have Nick Banner behind the plate and batting sixth. And first baseman, A.J. Lisco, batting seventh, followed by Ozzie Fleischer, the shortstop, and Caden Abraham, the center fielder. McCulloch comes up to bat facing Jackson Melendi. Pitcher for Bowdoin comes in today with a 2.57 ERA in 5 appearances, 4 starts on the season. A pristine whip of below 1 at .9. He has 25 strikeouts in 21 innings. Notably, only 7 hits allowed in those 21 innings so far. He has done a great job of missing bats and preventing hard contact.
Yeah, Jared, you mentioned that whip, and that is shown in his hits right there. 7 hits in 21 innings. Tufts team today, they were able to put together 7 hits earlier in game 1, despite being shut down in terms of runs, as that one misses out. Sorry, that one's called strike on the outer half of the plate. We'll see if Tufts can continue that today against Melendi in the second half of the game, maybe potentially get some runners home. And if Pedeswa looks anything like he did in the first inning, the rest of this game, this will be a good opportunity to do so.
McCullough waits back on that and fouls it into the netting. This Tufts team desperately in need of some offense. Shut out in game 1. Haven't scored more than 6 runs in a game since March 21st. Towards the back of the NESCAC in most offensive stats. That one outside? No. Called strike 3. McCulloch sat down looking to start off the game for Melendi. Both teams start off with a strikeout.
Yeah, and that's just more of the same for what we've seen out of Tufts recently. The team currently sitting 7th out of 10 teams in terms of strikeouts offensively, and just really failing to get runners on base, make positive plays and at-bats happen as that one misses away in the dirt.
Leonard, one of the only bright spots, Ben Leonard, that is batting right now, playing left field today, has been one of the only Tufts hitters this season to really hit for some power. 2 home runs and 7 doubles on the year. but he has cooled off a bit as of late. He was slashing 375, 534, 686 at the end of March. He's down to around 300 batting average, but still an impressive over 1,000 OPS on the season. He is the heart of this Tufts offense and takes one low and outside for a ball.
Yeah, Leonard's an interesting player to watch. Senior for the team, had a very good rookie season a few years back in 2022 where he sort of broke out, entered the starting lineup, regressed a little bit over the past 2 years, couldn't quite replicate that performance as Figs Ball 4 right there. And then this season got off to an 18 for 36 start. That's a 500 average. Truly incredible. Coming into today since then, just 4 for 35. 4 for 35, excuse me. But he'll take the walk right there.
So that's that slump we were talking about a little bit, but he does get on base to bring up the freshman James Henshin. Walks have been an issue for Melendi this season. That was his 13th free pass issued. As we mentioned, only 7 hits. So base runners thus far on the season for Melendi have been more likely to come via the free pass than via a hard knock. First pitch to Henshin was a strike. Second pitch fouled off of his front foot.
And not only does Melendi himself have a bit of a tendency to walk batters, Ben Leonard, we watched right there, that would be his NESCAC leading 19th walk on the year.
One of the reasons his OPS over 1,000 on the season. Leonard 4 stolen bases as well. Henshin comes in today, 278 batting average. On slugging percentage, only 342, however. A couple of these Tufts hitters doing a good job getting on base, but not a lot of extra base hits this season. This pitch, Leonard goes, and the ball is fouled off.
Yeah, you talk about his slugging percentage, and the thing with slugging percentage is, as a stat, it sort of depends on the abilities of the rest of your team to move you around the base paths. It measures the amount of bases that you're achieving on every single at-bat. So for somebody like Henshin, who has a pretty solid batting average but a low slugging percentage, a lot of that is not just the lack of extra base hits, but the lack of Tufts' other hitters to really move him forward.
That one, though, he gets a hold of and drives out into the gap into left field. That'll fall for a base hit. Henshin rounds first. He'll head into second. Leonard advances all the way to third. Ball's rolling into the infield, but Leonard will stay put. So a one-out double for James Henshin puts runners on second and third as the right fielder, Cooper Smith, comes up to bat, and the Tufts offense has maybe the most life they've seen yet today.
That's for sure. And on that play, well done by Bowdoin center fielder Cal Thompson. We saw him get a little bit tripped up out there. It looked like potentially even more extra bases were on the table for Tufts right there. But he's able to recover, rocket the ball into the infield, and prevent the run from scoring. Still an out on the board for Bowdoin.
Cooper Smith, another one of these hitters, leads the team in batting average at 333, but only 3 extra base hits on the year. Swings the first pitch and misses. No home runs, no triples, but 3 doubles. So again, his slugging percentage only 368, although he does lead the team in batting average. Tufts would take a single here from Smith to get 1 or 2 runners home. He's down 0-1 in the count. He'll take a ball to even it at 1-1. Smith puts that one in play, grounds it to the shortstop. Cross-body throw will get Smith at first, but a run will score. So 1-0, and Tufts with their first lead of the day against Bowdoin.
Yeah, not the fanciest way to score a run, but for a team like Tufts against a team like Bowdoin, they'll take a run any way possible. Ben Leonard on third base was ready, running all the way on that ground ball. Easily made it home. A run on the board, something Tufts and head coach Stark is very happy to see.
Sometimes you just have to put the ball in play. Did it there, got a run home. Now the designated hitter, Max Pavlik, up to bat. He has 3 home runs and 18 RBIs, and only 14 games started this year. Has been a spark plug for this Jumbo.
He's had a more regular role. As you mentioned, Jared, not a completely regular role, has missed some time. But in the games he's played, he's been very solid. And for a Tufts team that'll take any sort of offensive production they can get, that addition is very welcome.
1-2 count now to Pavlik. That one low and inside. He'll run it to 2-2. Wind blowing out towards right center field. Here today, very gloomy, overcast day as something gets thrown onto the field, and the center fielder Thompson will take care of that. Not exactly the most picturesque day here in Medford, but good enough for some baseball. The 2-2 pitch is inside. Catcher thought it was a strike. Pitcher thought it was a strike. It is a ball. 3-2. The count runs full.
Certainly looked inside to me, Jared. I think maybe a little bit of a frame job from the catching side, but not a very convincing one as that one's hit over to the right side.
3-2 pitch grounded to the second baseman, and that will end the inning. Bordas takes care of it, but a run scores for the Jumbos 1-0 after 1. We'll be right back. Back for the top of the second here in Medford will be Lucas Chai up to bat, the left fielder.
Yeah, Lucas Chai is always a player to watch on the Bowdoin team. Last year, phenomenal season for him with a 443 batting average, 500 OBP, 595 slugging, all NESCAC second. He led the conference in batting average, fifth in on-base percentage, and it's just been more of the same as he swings and misses right there. More of the same for him this year. Game 1 today, Chai did get a hit, went 1 for 4, picked up a couple of RBIs and a strikeout.
The second team all NESCAC player a season ago is ahead of the count, 2-1. You look at this Bowdoin offense. They're second in the NESCAC in batting average, third in hits, second in runs, second in doubles, second in slugging percentage, and second in walks. They've done a great job avoiding the double play, only 4 all season. And as I mentioned, first in the NESCAC in stolen bases. We'll talk about their pitching a little later. It's just as impressive. But if you look at the top leaderboard of hitters in the NESCAC, it is full of Bowdoin batters. The pitch here from Podeswa is fouled out of play down the third base line. 4 of the top 15 batters in the NESCAC in terms of batting average are part of this Bowdoin lineup, and of their regulars, 5 have an OPS over 900, a number that the Jumbos have one player, Ben Leonard, matching.
Yeah, and an interesting quirk of the Bowdoin offense this year. We mentioned all those stats that they're second and third. Oh,
that one
Chai's plunked
inside, but might have hit the knob of the bat. I think it will be a foul ball, so an inside pitch, but a lucky break for Podeswa.
Stand corrected there. Yeah, second again, as we mentioned, second batting average, third in hits, second runs, second in doubles, second to last in home runs. So this is not a team that lives by the long ball, and that's actually by design.
The pitch from Podeswa swung on and missed. a strikeout for Pedezwa, his third already. Down goes Lucas Chai, and up comes the third baseman Liam Foley.
Yeah, and as I was saying, Bowdoin head coach Mike Connolly was quoted in the Bowdoin newspaper, the Bowdoin Orient, heading into this season by mentioning how they wanted to play this small ball. They wanted to focus on the fundamentals of baseball. It wasn't about the home runs. It wasn't about all sorts of crazy extra base hits and crazy plays. Quote from Connolly, in the past, we've been relying on big innings to score runs. I think now with this team, we're going to do a lot more. Put the ball in play, bunt, steal, hit, and run, do all the little things to score. And that's exactly what they've done today and all season long.
And Liam Foley, a pretty great example of that phenomenon, comes into today the team's leader in batting average at .369, no home runs, 7 doubles, 19 RBIs. That one fouled off. But Foley, part of that kind of offensive approach, what do you want to do? You want to move the line. That's a very effective way to approach an offense in an era of baseball that's mostly defined by power hitting. Bowdoin doing the opposite. Their team leader in home runs, Murray, has 5, but he has a majority of the team's home runs by himself. No one other than him has more than 2 home runs. So Foley, one of the NESCAC leaders in batting average, up, down 1 and 2. He'll try to put a ball in play and extend this inning. He will ground that one to the shortstop. Fleischer throws to first, and an easy out. 2 down here in the top of the second.
Yeah, in this Bowdoin hitting approach, it's a little bit foreign for those of you used to watching Tufts baseball. Last year, when overall the offense was a bit more successful than this year, they were still hitting a lot of home runs, walking a lot, and striking out a lot. We call them the 3 true outcomes of baseball. A lot of swings, a lot of misses, a lot of big power hits. And Bowdoin, the complete opposite, and they're having even more success than Tufts did last year. Looks like that one got a piece of the Bowdoin hitter, Finn Cahill, the catcher. It just grazed his side there.
So Cahill will take first base. And immediately, Pedezwa will try to pick him off. No dice on that. Cahill only saw 1 pitch and went to first, and that brings up Will Cook, the shortstop.
Yeah, both Cahill and Cook, some of the best hitters on the team and in the NESCAC. Something else they have in common, they're both freshmen. Them alongside somebody who we're not seeing in the starting lineup today, Moriarty, on Bowdoin. It's part of just an incredible recruiting job by Coach Connolly in the offseason to bring in hitters that already are NESCAC second team, NESCAC first team contenders as freshmen.
Tufts, a team that has struggled this year in large part because some of their veteran players haven't been able to get it going as much as they have in the past. Looking at a Bowdoin team whose freshmen are carrying a very heavy load on both sides of the ball, particularly on offense.
Yeah, Tufts has been kind of stuck in a tough, no pun intended, position this year where it's an older team with the vast majority of players, juniors, seniors, grad students, but they're not really producing at the levels that Tufts would like to see. And there's been a little bit of a youth movement of bringing players in. We see the starting third baseman for them today, James Henshin. He's a freshman. He's had an okay year. Out of the bullpen, Tufts has used some freshmen, most notably Derek Desmarais, who has been quite successful in the bullpen. But again, it's mainly the older players for Tufts. Last year, the team was all about star freshman Malachi Pena, who unfortunately for this team here transferred away to D2 Embry-Riddle, and the team has just not been able to replace him with a similar young player.
I was going to say the same thing. The absence of Pena has been pretty apparent this season for the Jumbos. He burst on the scene as a freshman last season, but no longer on the roster, as you mentioned, transferred away, and the team has struggled to replace that production. Pedezwa now still fighting to keep that runner on first base from going. That pitch will be fouled back down the third baseline. The count is full, 3-2 to the shortstop Cook.
Yeah, I have to wonder if Pedezwa's all these pickoff attempts of Finn Cahill are maybe a bit of a product of Cahill's very lack of experience in NESCAC play. Has been a great hitter, but again, he's still a freshman, still might be a little aggressive on the base paths as he goes there on the 3-2 count. We fouled off.
Yeah, Cahill only 1 stolen base on the season, but Pedesma keeping a close eye on him over at first. Now with a 3-2 count, 2 outs, he'll be going on the pitch. Pedesma 3 strikeouts already through 1 2/3. He'll look to add a 4th and try not to issue a base on balls. The pitch from Pedesma is outside. A walk for Will Cook, and now 2 men will be on with 2 outs as the designated hitter Chris Dirks will come to the plate.
Yeah, it was a close call right there on the edge of the plate. Tufts catcher Nick Banner didn't very clear attempt to frame it, did not fool the umpire for sure.
Dirks just about the only guy in this lineup not batting over 300. The senior, who also plays catcher, senior from St. John's Prep, just around the corner here in Massachusetts, is batting .225 on the season. He does have 2 doubles and a triple to go along with 5 RBIs, but has been a contributor for several years now. He'll have a chance to get Bowdoin on the board today. Last season, Dirks in 29 games, 27 starts, batted .287 with a home run, 8 doubles, 3 triples, 15 RBIs, and a slugging percentage up over .465.
Yeah, Dirks was actually one of the main performers on the Bowdoin team last year that finished 18-17, 6-6 in the NESCAC, because that one's skied out to left field.
Into left field it is, and caught by the left fielder Ben Leonard, and that will end the threat. So 2 men reach, but no men score. Remains a 1-0 ball game for Tufts. We'll be back for the bottom of the second. Back here on JumboCast for the start of the bottom of the second inning. Nick Banner up to bat for the Jumbos. He is catching today. Did not start the first half of this doubleheader. This will be his 10th start on the season, as the catcher duties on this team have shuffled around between a couple different players. Nick Banner batting .290 on the season. He's got 6 RBIs and an OPS of .760. The Jumbos leading early in this one, 1-0, and Banner will look to extend that. The first pitch swung on and fouled back, probably directly at someone's car in the parking lot.
Yeah, Banner, a decent freshman season for him. Good pickup for the team. We've seen some offensive production out of him, as you mentioned. Solid batting average at .290, driven in a half dozen RBIs on the year. So that one is shot foul down the right side. Picked up out of Florida, Palm Beach Gardens, down in South Florida.
Banner takes one that just misses. It'll be 2-2. Melendi, the 6'4" pitcher, delivers that one through the hole on the left side, and a single for Banner. He'll lead off the inning by getting on base and bring up the first baseman, A.J. Lisco, to try to keep things rolling for the Jumbos.
A good piece of hitting right there for Nick Banderston. Nice little solid shot through the hole on the left side. Now, singles haven't been a problem for Tufts this year. They've gotten a lot of those, so let's see what they can do with that runner on base to set the table.
Let's go at 265 hitter. In the box, Melendi, 6'4", 180-pound right-hander from Winthrop, Maine, has looked good so far this season and looked good so far today. He delivers. That one skied out of play and quickly ahead. Or excuse me, evens the count at 1-1.
AJ Lisko is the sophomore first baseman. Saw a little bit of play from him last year, not too much production offensively, though he did have 2 home runs. This year, he's been able to do a little bit more with putting the ball in play. As you mentioned, 265 average, that's 13 hits on the year. Has also picked up 11 walks, yet to hit his first home run on the year, and has less RBIs than he did last year.
That one grounded to the shortstop, 6-4, but dropped. Will not be a double play. Will be an out at second base. The transfer is where the drop occurred. So an out on the play, but a wasted opportunity. That was a tailor-made ground ball for a double play, but couldn't get it done. Will be Will Cook, the shortstop. See if he's credited with an error on that. But it will bring up the shortstop for Tufts, Ozzie Fleischer, former Defensive Player of the Year, mired in what has really been a season-long slump. Comes into today slashing 200 as batting average, 227 OBP, and 235 slugging percentage. Has just been a struggle. 1 extra base hit on the season, but he's looking to turn it around today. Man on first, and 1 strike as Melendi delivers, and Fleischer takes the ball outside.
Yeah, Fleischer really excited a lot of the people around Tufts baseball this offseason when he announced he'd be coming back for a year as a grad student on the team. Last year was one of the leading players on this very successful team that made it to the NESCAC championship with a 308 average, a couple home runs, 25 RBIs, and an OPS right around 800. And as you mentioned, Jared, a wizard over there at shortstop. But offensively this year, it's not been his year, as he will get a stolen base right there as the pitch is dropped by...
I think catcher's interference might be the call right there. Fleischer chopped at the ball with the runner going. Looked like maybe a hit and run put in play, but the catcher made contact with the bat from Fleischer. That's an automatic first base, so, doesn't have to be the traditional way. Fleischer gets on regardless, so men on first and second after the catcher's interference. Only 1 out for the center fielder, Caden Abraham, and now Melendi facing a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, that's the freshman catcher, Finn Cahill. We mentioned him previously. Bowdoin's been an interesting team to watch over this season and the previous few years in terms of catchers, because they've always had a lot of depth at that position. Lucas Chai, even, who's one of their star offensive players, is actually listed as a catcher in official publications and has a lot of experience behind the plate. Chris Dirks was one of the star players last year. He, of course, is also a catcher. He caught earlier today. But Finn Cahill brought in as a freshman and immediately is being an everyday player inserted into that role.
Abraham takes a strike on the outside corner. 2-1 now the count. Abraham, the sophomore outfielder, playing center field today from Pacific Palisades, California. Seen some sporadic playing time thus far this season. This will be his 6th appearance as he fouls that one back. Got into 2 at-bats last year, was 1 for 2. This season, 12 games played. He's got a 273 batting average and 7 RBIs. That's 6 hits on the season as he looks to take advantage of a promising situation with 2 men on here. 2-2 is the count. Melendi delivers that one well inside, and he'll run it full.
Great stop there from Cahill, protecting the runners from advancing to second and third.
3-2 count now. The Jumbos would love to take advantage and just get a little bit of a cushion, something they haven't experienced today. Melendi with the 3-2 pitch, runners go. That one fouled sharply down the third baseline. but out of play.
Abraham, despite the limited playing time, does have 7 RBIs on the year in just 22 at bats. So he has been pretty productive at getting runners on base to come home and score. And as you mentioned, this would be a great opportunity to do some more of that.
Another 3-2 pitch. This one outside. A walk that will load the bases. So Abraham does his job, gets on base, and now Jesse McCullough, we're back to the top of the lineup, will come to bat with 1 out and the bases loaded. Melendi's first real jam of the day, and he's going to have to work some magic to get out of it.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate for the Bowdoin side seeing this from Melendi today. He's been working really hard out there. A lot of pitches, a lot of base runners, a lot of contact. We've seen a lot of foul balls as well. And now bases loaded for the leadoff man, McCullough.
And McCullough came through in these type of situations in years past. This season, only 8 RBIs, 231 batting average, 308 slugging. But again, a veteran. A lot of trust in this guy. Comes in batting leadoff today, playing second base. Bases are loaded. 0-1 count. He'll swing again. That one to the pitcher. Melendi takes the throws home for the safe out. No double play, but no run will score. That one sharply hit, but right back at Melendi. And so now 2 outs and a chance to get out of this one with no run scored if you're Bowdoin.
Yeah, it was good for Melendi to be able to make the play there, prevent the run from scoring, set up the 2-out situation. But I think a double play would have been possible there. We saw him bobble the ball a little bit trying to get it home. Catcher Finn Cahill also looked to have a little bit of trouble with the quick throw from Melendi. And it'll leave the bases loaded for a dangerous hitter in Ben Leonard, who could really use a big hit to return to his early season form.
This is who the Jumbos want up to bat in these situations. Righty on lefty matchup with Ben Leonard in the box. 1-0 count. We'll take that one outside. So 2-0. And of course, a walk would force a run in. And that has been Melendi's weakness on the season. Again, doesn't give up a lot of contact, but has had some issues with command. 2-0 now. The count on the left fielder, Leonard. Leonard will take ball 3. The 3-0 pitch from Melendi. Kisses the outside corner and runs the count to 3-1.
That was pitch number 43 from Melendi already. We're only in the 2nd inning. So definitely good to see Tufts, again, working him so hard.
3-1 pitch is grounded up the first baseline and taken care of by Kevin Murray. Tosses to the pitcher, Melendi, and that will end the inning. So Jumbos load the bases with only 1 out, but can't get a runner across to score. Score remains 1-0 as we enter the top of the 3rd. We'll be right back. Leading off for Bowdoin, the center fielder, Cal Thompson. He swings at the first pitch from Podeswa, fouls it back into the parking lot.
Yeah, we mentioned Cal Thompson a little bit earlier. He is a member of this incredible freshman class on Bowdoin this year. Already has a OPS north of 850.
That one grounded to the shortstop Fleischerhoff to make a play quickly, throws off his back foot, and gets him at first base. A nice play by the flat-footed shortstop Ozzie Fleischer takes care of Cal Thompson for the first out in the inning.
Yeah, and kudos to the Tufts first baseman, A.J. Lysko over there. That was throw a little bit offline with Fleischer having not much time to get the ball across. It was a really impressive stretch from him, reaching all the way up that first base line and keeping his left foot on the bag.
So that will bring up the speedster Ruben Siegel. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat. We'll look for a different outcome this time around as he's ahead 1-0 on Podeswa. Podeswa sets and delivers. And a really nice frame by the catcher Banner. Gets that one called for a strike, 1-1.
There's a nice changeup right there in the middle part of the plate. Clearly less velocity than his other pitches.
Comes back with the fastball. Swung on foul, tipped to the mitt. So 1-2 now. Podeswa looks in control. Yet to give up a run today. He'll deliver the 1-2 pitch. And that one, a check swing. Appeal to the third base umpire. He did not go. It was high, so 2-2. Podeswa delivers the 2-2 pitch. Just outside, and he'll run it full.
Yeah, interesting pitch location selection from Podeswa here. We saw him crowding Thompson up in that sort of upper inner third of the plate before trying to go away right there. Unsuccessful as the count will go full.
3-2 pitch. Inside for ball 4. Banner, the catcher, was ready to go around the horn, but no, sir, says the umpire. Seen quite a few walks so far today, and with one out, there will be a base runner on first for the dangerous Will Bordis.
Podeswa did a great job of striking out Will Bordis in the first inning. Again, a extremely dangerous hitter.
Bordis swings the first pitch. This one could be a double play. 6-4, but not in time at first base, so a fielder's choice. They'll get the runner at second, and that'll be 2 down.
Yeah, that looked like a bit of a Tufts-esque hit right there. Kind of lazy chopper to the left side. Not enough exit velocity on the ball there to really make the double play a possibility. It's hit pretty softly. Fleischer and the rest of the infield did their best to try to turn 2, but that was not a possibility there.
Even when you get a dangerous hitter out here in this Bowdoin lineup, another one comes to bat, Kevin Murray. The first baseman leads the team 5 home runs, 24 RBIs on the season. And of the batters in the top 10, an OPS, as that one's chopped to Fleischer. He'll step up and throw to first. A strong throw gets Murray at first base. So that'll be a quick 1-2, not quite 3, with a walk inning. 4-batter inning, 1 man left on for Connor Podeswa, but he'll make it quick, and we'll move on to the bottom of the third, and we'll take a quick break and return. Bottom of the third here in Medford, our director has a prediction. He says James Henshin's going to double and then be driven in by a single from Cooper Smith. 2 at-bats, 1 run for the Jumbos. We'll see if that prediction comes to pass as Henshin comes up to bat and takes strike 1. Henshin doubled in his first at-bat today, so if this comes true, it'll be his second double of the game. Put one into the left field gap earlier today. He swings and is down 0-2. That was the pitch. We say here, that was the pitch, but he'll have another shot. 0-2 as Jackson Melendi looks to settle back in after what was a rocky second inning that he did get out of with no damage done despite loading the bases with 1 out. Yeah. 0-2 will be outside.
It's just been a lot of base runners so far today from Melendi. You mentioned his pitch count in the last inning. He's up around 50 right now. If he can calm down, he will definitely have some more juice left in the tank for some more shutout innings today, as that one misses away. But definitely just too many pitches for him so far today. Too many base runners, too many walks.
Melendi, 47 pitches thus far. No outs here in the third. Look at Connor Pedeswa for Tufts. He's at 44 pitches, and he's already through 3 innings, So a little bit of a deficit that Melendi needs to make up. That one just fouled off by Henshin. He'll stay alive.
Yeah, barely got the tip on the end of that bat right there. And it'll be another long at-bat above 6 pitches for Melendi. Not a great sign for him to start out this third inning.
Melendi hasn't been missing all too many bats today. Another foul ball from Henshin. 1 strikeout for Melendi through 2 innings, but 2 walks, 2 hits, and up almost over 50 pitches now. So certainly will want to be a little bit more aggressive if he can be. Now a 3-2 pitch to Henshin is inside, another walk drawn by this Tufts lineup, their third of the game. Henshin will take first, and another inning starts with a base runner for the Jumbos. They've had a base runner in all 3 innings, but only 1 run. That came in the first as Cooper Smith comes up to bat.
Yeah, fantastic at-bat right there from the freshman. That really looked like some veteran play right there. Saw him foul off many, many pitches. Look at some very close balls, eventually work out the base on balls.
Fires over to first, but Henshin dives in safely. Smith drove in that singular run with an RBI ground out in the first inning. Has a man on to do something similar here, but another pickoff attempt. Still not a pitch thrown. A third pickoff attempt. No different than the first 2. Henshin dives back in. And Smith still awaiting a pitch in this at-bat.
Henshin goes right back to that relatively large lead over there at first base.
He will deliver, though. That one inside and hits Cooper Smith. So no outs now, and runners on first and second. That one just got away from Melendi. And dealing with some more traffic here in this inning, the bottom of the third, will be Max Pavlik up with no outs and 2 men on, a prime situation to get some runs home for Tufts.
Yeah, we could see the frustration on Melendi's face after that. It looked like a good job. This pitch comes in, misses outside. Good job from Henshin on first base to sort of dance around, work Melendi up a little bit, force him to throw a bunch of pickoff attempts over there, kind of get him out of his rhythm. And once the pitch finally did come to home plate, just a little bit too inside.
Pickoff play at second base goes off the glove of the shortstop Cook, and the runners will advance to second and third. Yeah, score that an E1 error on the pitcher. It'll be a throwing error wide to the right of the shortstop Cook and takes away the double play unless an intentional walk is in the cards here. So a Tufts team that is prone to ground out in these type of situations at least can avoid a double play. That one fouled right back at us.
Yeah, and you mentioned that that's gonna be marked an E1. That's a bit misleading because really one of the biggest faults of that play was the miscommunication between the two middle infielders for Bowdoin. Noticed there were
That one driven into right field. That'll drop. That'll be a base hit. Runners both rounding third, right on top of each other, and both runners are safe at home. A 2 RBI single for Max Pavlik advances the lead to 3-0. The Jumbos jumping out in front. They needed a hit with 2 runners in scoring position, and they got it from Max Pavlik, and their first real lead in a while.
Yep, Pavlik on the year has been the go-to Tufts RBI guy out of that 5-0. Came into the day, 18 RBIs. Second place on the team is Cooper Smith with 12. Pavlik is, of course, now up to 20. That's him doing what he does best, is that ball is hit well to right field.
A sliding attempt by the right fielder, Ruben Siegel. He had it in his glove but couldn't hold on because he made contact with the ball in foul territory. That will be a foul ball, but he almost made an impressive catch. Still no outs in the inning. Banner tried to jump all over that one. Oh, 1 the count to the catcher Banner. That one roped in to left center field. Another base hit. Strong turn going to third. Throw in time, but drops by the third baseman. Liam Foley couldn't get a hold of it, and so going to be a single and a move up to second on the throw. But the Jumbos suddenly stringing some hits together. Banner, his second hit of the day, and a chance to increase this lead a little bit more as A.J. Lisko comes up to bat. The first baseman will have, again, 2 men in scoring position with no outs. Our director did tell us coming into this inning, and this was going to be the inning that the Jumbos offense came alive, that the bats strung some hits together, and he was right, at least thus far. Can have a mound visit here.
Yeah, and we saw in that play there, more uncharacteristic sloppy defense from Bowdoin. I was mentioning on the previous play before I was cut off by a fly ball, how there was a miscommunication on getting the ball to second base from the pitcher, Melendi, with no one covering, forcing Melendi to throw late and off balance, and that throw ended up in center field. Similar play right there. Ball hit out to center field, routine single, played as normal as expected by Cal Thompson out there. Ball came in, great throw to third base. Had plenty of time to get the out there. It was a pretty risky move sending the runner there, especially against a good arm like Thompson. But the ball was just not able to be recovered properly by Liam Foley over there at third base, which not only prevented the out from occurring, also allowed another runner to go up to second base in the form of Nick Banner.
It was certainly an aggressive turn, sending the runner to third base, but it paid off as Lisko will take strike 1. Just had a mound visit. Melendi has had a rough day. 3 earned runs through 2 innings. 3 walks, a hit by pitch, 4 hits, and only 1 strikeout. Still no outs here in the bottom of the third. Lisko would like to do some more damage. He'll swing at the second pitch, foul it back over the booth, and it will be 0-2.
Well, Jody certainly did some damage to that patch of grass over there. That was a rocket off the bat. Hit with a lot of speed and power, just in the wrong direction.
Jumbos have been making contact this inning. That pitch low and outside. 1-2.
Melendi now up to 61 pitches. Have to imagine he doesn't have that many more innings left in him today, as that one comes inside. Just barely misses the batter, Lisko.
2-2 now.
One of many things that Bowdoin has going for them as a team is a very strong bullpen. plenty of reliable arms in there.
Lesko grounds up the first baseline, and a pickle now. The out recorded at first. Now, caught between third and home. The chase down, they'll get the runner, the lead runner, that is. And a double play turned by Bowdoin. That one kind of came out of nowhere. Ball hit to the first baseman, quick out at first, and then the runners went on contact, and everyone got hung up. So an unfortunate turn of events for the Jumbos, and a fortunate turn of events if you're Bowdoin. You'll get the double play.
Yeah, in baseball, of course, we refer to double plays with the positions of the players involved, like a 6-4-3, 4-6-3, 3-6-3. Except that one, that looked like maybe a 3-6-5-4, 5-2-5. Whole lot of throws there.
Another pitch, just a bit too inside, clips the jersey of Ozzie Fleischer. And so 2 outs, but still 2 runners aboard now, as Caden Abraham will come up to bat.
Second hit by pitch already from Melendi to go with his 3 walks and the many close calls on pitches inside in the zone. So the command problems continue.
Abraham drew a walk his first time at the plate, and he'll have a chance here with 2 runners on and 2 outs to try to extend that Tufts lead. They had an opportunity met on second and third, but the double play took some wind out of the Tufts sails. Abraham swings and fouls it off. Two and two. To Abraham. It was 1-1. That's strike 2. 1-2 now. The count. Breaking ball right over the heart of the plate.
Notice the Bowdoin infield playing way back. For example, first baseman. So that one just misses on the outside part of the plate. First baseman Kevin Murray positioned almost on the outfield grass out there on the right side, sort of the very edge of the dirt. Similar positioning from the rest of the infield, with third baseman in a little bit more.
Melendi almost at 70 pitches as he delivers. And another foul ball off the bat of Abraham. Melendi just wants to get out of this inning. He'll be happy if he can do it with only 2 runs allowed. 2-2 count to Abraham. Melendi sets again. And will look for the pickoff at second. Too late there, so runner gets in safely, and we'll look to do it again.
Yeah, that previous pitch to Abraham was pretty representative of what's been going on for Melendi today. It was a good pitch, outer half of the plate. Abraham looked really off balance swinging. Not a very good hack at all. Barely got the end of the bat on it. Really should have been swing and miss, strike 3.
Instead, the next pitch will be grounded to the second baseman for the third out of the inning. So the Jumbo score 2 on the single from Max Pavlik, but squander what could have been a larger inning on Lesko's unfortunate double play ball, and that'll take us to the top of the 4th inning. That was a long bottom of the 3rd, and we'll be right back for the top of the 4th. Lucas Chai leading off the top of the fourth for Bowdoin. He'll swing and miss at a break-in ball from Connor Pedeswa. 3-0 is your score. Bowdoin yet to record a hit here today. Pedeswa wants to keep it that way. Another breaking ball hit hard on the ground, but straight to the first baseman. Lisco throws over to Pedeswa for the first out.
Yeah, more of the same from Pedeswa right there. So the first pitch of that at bat, just really perfectly done, a swing and a miss. Chai was looking for, he's a power hitter. He was looking to get a real hack on a fastball. Instead, he got a breaking pitch and then a nice, easy ground out right there for the out.
Liam Foley will take a ball. He grounded out in his first at-bat. A lot of balls on the ground for Bowdoin so far today. Murray grounded out twice. Chai with a ground out. Foley grounded out, as did Cal Thompson. Pedeswa doing a good job limiting hard contact. That one up the middle, speared by the second baseman. Throw to first is in time.
What a play.
Jesse McCullough with the play of the day. Full extension on the dive and makes the throw to nail Foley at first with a nice stretch from the first baseman Lisco. That is a highlight play.
Yeah, that was a ball destined for center field. That was up the middle, not too far to the right side of second base. McCullough had a large area to cover right there. Somehow got his glove on the ball, and even possibly more impressively, was able to get the throw over to first base in time. Truly remarkable way to prevent Bowdoin from getting their first hit of the day.
Jesse McCullough showing out defensively as Pedeswa looks for another quick inning. 2 outs already, both via the ground out. He'll fall behind here 2-0 to the catcher Finn Cahill. But strong defense from the Jumbos, especially in the middle infield today, going a long way. That one was up and in, but Cahill couldn't resist, swung at it anyways. 2-1 at a pitch that was going directly at him. Pedeswa fires that one well high. 3-1 now.
Feels rare today to see multiple pitches outside of the strike zone in a row from Pedeswa. He's been just nailing that strike zone. But even in a case like that with multiple pitches up and in, he's still managed to get a strike on one of them. And there's another right there with Foley swinging over that one, the high heat.
Swing and a miss it was, and it'll run the count to 3-2. Pedeswa looking for another quick inning. He delivers, and a foul ball. Pedeswa almost through 4. He's got 3 strikeouts, 2 walks, yet to give up a hit. And he'll do it again, 3-2 to the catcher, Cahill. Pedeswa fires and nails the outside corner at strike 3 looking. Pedeswa with some energy as he comes off the mound. That's 4 scoreless innings so far for Pedeswa, and the Jumbo offense will look to add on to their lead when we come back. here in the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch is swung on and missed. We have a pitching change. Sam Sacerdote has entered the game in place of Jax Melendi. Sacerdote, who works the count to 2-1, comes into today with a 1.26 ERA in 7 games and 1 start in 14.1 innings. He's got 14 strikeouts and 4 walks. Has been an effective piece out of the pen. That one, a little check swing down the first baseline. Will be the first out of the inning as McCullough grounds out. But Sacerdote looking to steady the ship a little bit as Melendi struggled through 3 innings.
Yeah, still only a 3-run ball game, so very much within play for Bowdoin. Sacerdote coming in, as you mentioned, super reliable reliever on the year so far. ERA down near 1. And right there, that was a great piece of, for Sacerdote's case at least, a great piece of weak contact.
That
was
ball
not weak contact.
driven deep into center field, but playable and caught by Cal Thompson. Leonard put a jump into that one, but couldn't get it to fall for a hit, so 2 quick outs for Sacerdote. Would have been the 3rd time through the order for Melendi, and he had struggled the first 2 times, so makes sense that a change had to happen. Fastest inning yet so far through 2 outs. Melendi had led up base runners in all 3 innings thus far. Sacerdote working to contact. Henshin swings at the first pitch and fouls down the 3rd baseline.
Yeah, Tufts hitters also showing aggression this inning. A lot of first pitch swings, like we saw right there from Henshin. Trying to feel out the new pitcher, Sacerdote.
That one, he puts a drive into deep center field off the wall. Henshin looks for extra bases. Hill round second and hold up. A deep double off near that 370 sign, near that 400 sign in left center field is the 2nd double of the day for James Henshin. Barreled that one up and puts a man in scoring position with 2 outs for the Jumbos.
Yeah, again, great piece of hitting right there. That ball was just hit, smacked really on the sweet spot into the gap in left center field. Probably went a good 380, 390 feet out there. Henshin,
as
that one's hit.
First pitch is swung at by Smith. He put a drive in that one as well. That one's back, and that one is gone. A 2-run home run for Cooper Smith. A ball that looked like it was just off the end of the bat kept traveling and went over the wall for the first home run of the season for the right fielder, Cooper Smith. And that extends the lead to 5-0.
Well, Jared, you mentioned that wind blowing out to right center field today. And that's exactly where that ball was hit. Yeah, off the bat, looked like he got under it a little bit, just a lazy fly ball to right field. Just kept carrying, kept going and going. Eventually, it found itself over that 1950 College World Series sign in front of the scoreboard in right field. 2-run homer for Tufts, blowing the game open to 5-0.
And the Tufts offense really needed that. Home runs have been hard to come by as of late. Only 1 home run over their last 9 games. That one gives the offense some breathing room, even as this ground ball will end the inning. It was Cooper Smith who drove one to right field for a 2-run home run. It's now a 5-0 ball game. Bowdoin will have to look to respond in the next inning. We'll be right back. top 5 here in Medford. It's a 5-0 ball game now because of the 2-run home run from Cooper Smith. That one, 95-mile-an-hour exit velocity, 394-foot home run off the bat of Cooper Smith. It's a windy day here, blowing out to right field, and he took advantage of it. Jumbo's with a sigh of relief, up 5-0, and Podeswa now a lead to work with going forward. Off the end of the bat, that ground ball to McCulloch. He'll throw to first, and another quick out. Podeswa is living on the ground so far today, and it is paying off. The 8th ground out induced by Podeswa. Only one ball hit in the air.
Yeah, it's been all about the ground out, really for both teams, too, today. Tufts actually has grounded out 10 times. Fortunately for Bowdoin, the at-bats haven't been ground outs. With the exception of a couple of walks, they've been strikeouts and one fly out.
Of course, as we talk about groundouts, that ball hit in the air, but taken care of by Caden Abraham in center field. Podeswa working quickly yet again here. You look at these box scores, Tufts already working their way their 4th time through the lineup. This is still the the 2nd time through the lineup for Bowdoin. This will be Chris Dirks' second at-bat. He flew out in his first at-bat. He'll look to make this inning last a little bit longer. First pitch will be fouled off. If Podeswa can get Dirks out, he's only at 58 pitches so far through 4 2/3. We've seen him work 7+ before. Could certainly do it again today. The Jumbos would love to save their bullpen if Podeswa can give it to him. The 0-1 pitch from Podeswa is a line drive into left field, but right at Ben Leonard. That was a quick inning from Podeswa. He is rolling, and it's a 5-0 ball game as we enter the bottom of the 5th inning.
It off for Tufts in the bottom of the 5th inning as he pops one foul. That'll be easily playable for Finn Cahill, Bowdoin catcher, 1 pitch and 1 out. Similar work to what was going on with Tufts in the previous inning for Tufts pitching with some quick outs.
Lisco comes up to bat 0-2. Fielder's choice in his first at-bat, grounded into a odd double play. In his second at-bat, swings at the first pitch and misses. The game is suddenly moving pretty quickly as both teams look pretty aggressive in the box. That pitch went straight at Lisco, and he'll get on base with a hit-by pitch, the 3rd Tufts batter to reach via the plunking thus far today.
Yeah, that one was just tossed right at him, really. Even Lisco moved his shoulders a little bit, but there wasn't much he could do there. Just had to take the pitch. Wasn't a super hard pitch either, so he will gladly get the base.
The shortstop, Fleischer, now, he was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat and almost gets hit again. That one well inside from Sam Sacerdote. And it'll be 1-0 with a man on first.
Abraham just 0 for 1 on the day, but as you mentioned, has the hit by pitch and the walk, so has been able to reach base a couple of times.
That one in there for a strike. 2-1 now to the shortstop, Fleischer. Fleischer, good eye on the inside pitch to get it to 3-1. Fletcher has reached in both of his appearances. He got on via catcher's interference in his first at-bat and then hit by a pitch in his second. So 2 unconventional ways of getting on, but they count all the same. He jumped all over that one. Hit it a mile, but foul down the third baseline. The runner was going, so maybe a hit and run. Maybe Fleischer just saw a pitch that he wanted to take advantage of. Either way, it will be 3-2. Lisco still on first base.
Definitely looked like a traditional hit and run to me. Lisco running all the way. That was a home run hack from Fleischer. Definitely made some solid contact with the ball, just too far out in front. Lisco goes again.
3-2 though. Ball is outside. Doesn't matter that the runner was going. He'll reach first. So Fleischer's reached base in all 3 at-bats today. 1 catcher interference, 1 hit by pitch, 1 walk. Probably not how he thought his day would go, but he will take it. Caden Abraham, the center fielder, he reached on a walk in his first at-bat and grounded out in his second at-bat. He'll be up and take that first pitch for a ball. Jumbo's yet again threatening with runners in scoring position and no outs, or 1 out, excuse me, here in this inning. They've done this before, has had some success, have had some odd situations as well. They'll look to take advantage of this off of Sacerdote. And a foul ball from Abraham.
Yeah, that on the previous at-bat, 5th walk issued on the day by Bowdoin pitching to go with the handful, the 3 hit by pitches. There's also been an error and the 6 hits, not to mention the catcher's interference as well. So all sorts of ways of getting on base have been exercised today by the Tufts Jumbos.
Pickoff play is on at second, but not close. Bowdoin still looking to keep these Tufts runners in check. But one of those pickoff plays earlier did result in an error and the runners advancing, so have to be careful. Abraham will get a pitch to hit, and he'll swing and miss. 1-2 now.
Yeah, it looked like some off-speed action, maybe a slider down there in the dirt on the inner half of the plate. Off-balance swing, not the pitch that Abraham was expecting at all. But good work from Sacerdote getting him there to get ahead in the count.
See if Sacerdote can keep him off balance. That one off speed, but outside. 2-2.
Sacerdote himself looked a little unbalanced on that pitch right there. I think maybe lost his delivery of the ball a bit earlier than he had hoped.
2-2 pitch to Abraham. Fouled back. Bottom 5 here with 1 out, 2 men on, and a 2-2 count to Abraham. Sacerdote fires. Swung on and missed. A nasty breaking ball from Sacerdote. Sits down the 9-hole hitter, Caden Abraham, and Jesse McCulloch will come up with 2 outs to try to get a run home.
Yeah, Sacerdote was just moving around his breaking balls. That one looked a little bit more like a changeup as opposed to the slider previously. Moving them around the different parts of the plate on 3 consecutive pitches.
First pitch, though, swung on, and a long throw from the third baseman will get McCulloch at first. So cutting you off in the middle of that sentence, he swings and ends the inning. That's the end of the 5th. We're through 5 here in Medford. Still a 5-0 ball game. Tufts in the lead, and we'll be back for the top of the 6th. This one's starting to pick up its pace. outside. Been a strong day thus far for Connor Pedeswa on the mound. Pitch count still looking strong. 61 pitches. And another potential quick out, hard ground ball at McCullough. He'll retire Ruben Siegel. And so Pedeswa continues to cruise through this one. 62 pitches through 5 1/3. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, no hits yet. And obviously no runs on the board. But the last couple of innings, he's really picked up his pace. A lot of ground balls, a lot of quick outs. Here is Bordas. Swung at the first pitch yet again, and a line drive, at the left fielder, Ben Leonard, and another out. 2 outs here in the 6th. And this time, hopefully you'll get a chance to speak before the inning ends.
You know, Jared, thinking about the lack of various things in the world right now. We got, lack of sunshine in Medford, Massachusetts today. Lack of food and shelter for a lot of people in the world.
Another first pitch swinging, this one to the shortstop. Fleischer on the run. He gets the out at first. And Ozzie Fleischer makes a wonderful play at shortstop to get through another inning. What was that, a 4-pitch inning?
A 4-pitch inning. Lack of pitches in that inning.
And lack of chicken sandwiches.
Lack of chicken sandwiches in the Gittleman Field broadcast.
Oh, he was lying. It was a prank. Thank you to our director, Mr. Goldstein. We had been requesting some sandwiches, and he did come through just as Connor Pedeswa is coming through for Tufts. He's now through 6 innings. That one even quicker than the last 2, only 64 pitches. We'll be back in maybe 10 seconds for the bottom of the 6th. Bottom 6 here. The chicken sandwiches were pretty cold, but they're still enjoyable nonetheless. So thank you to Mr. Goldstein for that. Ben Leonard, who made a nice catch in left field last inning, is up to start the bottom of the 6th. Fleischer ended that last inning with a pretty beautiful play at shortstop. He's made several strong plays. The middle infield defense has been very strong today as the Jumbos take a 5-0 lead. That one driven deep into right field and gone. A home run for Ben Leonard. An absolute line drive off the bat of the left fielder. And the Jumbo Bats have woken up here in the second half of this doubleheader. 6-0 is your lead. And let's talk for a minute, Sebastian. This Bowdoin pitching staff came into today first in basically every important stat. First in the NESCAC in ERA, first in the NESCAC in hits allowed, first in the NESCAC in earned runs, home runs allowed, and opponent batting average. That has meant nothing to these Jumbo batters as they have jumped all over the pitching so far today.
Jared, you say Bowdoin came in first in ERA. Not only did they come in first in ERA, coming into the game today, we look at the pitching staff. The second best ERA for a pitching staff in the NESCAC was Amherst at a 4.67 ERA. Bowdoin, 3.47. There are multiple pitchers on the Bowdoin team whose ERA in total is smaller than the difference between Bowdoin's ERA and the next smallest ERA in the conference, as that one's hit to the left side. Will be a ground out. But I also want to go back to that home run, should I say, Jared, because that came off the bat of Ben Leonard. And as we mentioned a bit on the Open today, Leonard came into this season absolutely raking. He had a few seasons that weren't quite up to the standard set by his freshman year. Came into senior year with a vengeance and was hitting Started the season 18 for 36, and then went ice cold, like the sandwich in my hand right now. Went ice cold for the rest of the year. Really, up until now, that was his first home run since March 16th against Pomona Pitzer. So amazing to see some offensive production off the bat of Tufts' big number 10.
Fly ball is mishandled by the catcher, Finn Cahill. That one was a high twisting pop-up from Cooper Smith and just couldn't get a hold of it. See how that one is scored, but either way, the at-bat will continue. Yeah, as you mentioned, Ben Leonard, definitely a guy this offense wanted to get going. And again, only 4 home runs given up all season by Bowdoin, and they've given up 2 already today. That one off the end of the bat into right field, into the corner, and caught. Ruben Siegel put it away for the second out of the inning. And as these innings continue to fly by, here comes Max Pavlik. He grounded out in his first at-bat, scored 2 on a single in his second at-bat, and then grounded out again in his third. No runners on for him and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch from Sacerdote outside.
I want to go back a little bit in the previous at bat, that pop fly that ended up just falling for a regular old foul ball. Interesting play right there. As we enter the evening stages of the day, 6:53 p.m. here, just starting to see the sun set a little bit, but the floodlights here at Gittleman Field are already on. So I think catcher Finn Cahill was battling a little bit between the sunlight that's still out here and the floodlights themselves, creating a little bit of a difficult situation. We can watch that over the next inning or so.
It was cold before, cooling down even more here tonight. That 3-0 pitch, 3-0 pitch in first strike, excuse me, so 3-1, just caught the inside corner. Pavlik will take the 3-1 pitch well outside for a walk, so a 2-out base runner for the Tufts offense.
Another walk from Bowdoin. It's been a problem all day today. You can use up all your fingers on one hand if you want to count the Bowdoin walks, and you're going to need a lot more fingers if you want to include the hit by pitches, catcher's interference, all of the ways that Bowdoin is letting runners get on base in ways that they really need to be avoiding if they want to continue the success they've had this year.
First pitch to Banner, low and inside. Tufts offense had just been in quite a rut as of late, and this is a game that they needed. Just traffic on the base runners in basically every inning so far. 2 outs here, but a runner on first for Banner. Banner swings, that one driven pretty deep into center field, but playable and caught by Cal Thompson. That'll put an end to a minor threat from the Jumbos, and it'll take us to the top of the 7th inning. We'll see Connor Podeswa come back out as he looks to continue to cruise through this Bowdoin lineup. Lucas Chai leading off the top of the 7th for Bowdoin. Swings the first pitch. Foul ball might stay in play. Going to be a long run and falls foul. Podeswa, 64 pitches through 6 innings. He's looked very, very good so far today. Looking to make his way through this Bowdoin order for the 3rd time.
You know, if you look over at that scoreboard in right center field, there's some words on there, right? We see runs, errors. Looks like there might be a word in between. Below that word, there might be a number. Keep an eye on that number.
Podeswa doing his best not to follow Sebastian's advice. Wants to keep it cool. 1-1 now. The count to Lucas Chai. Still no outs here in the top of the 7th. The 1-1 pitch from Podeswa. Wind's picked up again a little bit. And a high fly ball will go foul.
I have noticed from Podeswa the past couple of innings, Bowdoin hitters, they've been able to get some better hacks, some more balls into the outfield after not getting a single ball into the outfield for many innings today, exclusively getting out via groundouts and strikeouts.
1-2 pitch. Podeswa hasn't struck out all too many today. Tries to get a chase there, but doesn't get it. 2-2. Chai struck out in his first at-bat, grounded out in his second at-bat. The 2-2 pitch from Podeswa is swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the day for Lucas Chai, and the fastball blows him away.
Yeah, fastball up in the zone. Classic bread and butter pitch right there. As a New York Mets fan, we used to watch Jacob deGrom do that all the time, mowing hitters down, up in the zone fastball. If you have that pitch in your arsenal, it's lethal.
And then he left and went to the Texas Rangers.
And forgot how to stay healthy.
I don't know if that was correlated to him leaving, but you're not wrong.
Yeah, he wasn't healthy when he was on the Mets anyway.
5th strikeout recorded by Podeswa today. 1-0 the count now. A swing and a miss on a nasty pitch from Podeswa. Now 1-1 to the third baseman, Liam Foley.
Yeah, seeing a pitch like that this late in the game for a starting pitcher is really remarkable. It shows you this type of stuff that Podeswa brought to the table today.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Fleischer takes it on one hop, fires the first for the second out of the inning. Fleischer making it look easy per usual at shortstop.
Yeah, you mentioned former NESCAC Defensive Player of the Year. He's had a lot of work there today. The ground ball inducing pitches that have been thrown have really gone together with all the right-handed batters that Bowdoin has. So it's been a lot of kind of lazy ground balls, chopped balls over to the left side, right to Fleischer. We've seen some great plays from him. Another nice, easy one right there.
First pitch is a called strike on the inside corner to Finn Cahill. Pinch hitter Henry Bebeau batting for Cahill. He'll take over at catcher. 1-0 count. Runs to 1-1.
Henry Bebeau has seen 24 at-bats so far on the year, primarily in situations like this as a pinch hitter. Has not been a bad performer at all. 250 average, 7.63 OPS, as he looks very out of place on that swing and a miss. He has, however, really only been a singles threat. 6 hits on the year, just one of them being for extra bases. But at this point, Bowdoin could really use anything.
That pitch just scraped the outside corner. No call. Will go to 2-2 as Podeswa looks to sit down Henry Bebeau and get through 7 innings for the second time this season. Only 72 pitches for Podeswa as he winds up for the 2-2 pitch. It's grounded, a soft ground ball to the third baseman. The throw gets him at first. Another beautiful play from the infield. It's James Henshin this time who ends the inning. We're through 7 now here in Medford, 6-0 is your score, and Connor Pedeswa is looking good. AJ Lisco leading off the inning for the Jumbos. Sacerdote remains on the mound for Bowdoin in this 6-0 ball game.
Lisco, one of the few Tufts hitters on the day to not yet achieve a base hit. He has gotten on base, however, via the hit by pitch earlier in this one.
Yeah, Lisco, fielder's choice, grounded into a double play and hit by a pitch in his 3 at-bats. Would like to get in on the hit parade here today and maybe extend this Tufts lead if he can. Lisco, no home runs on the season. 265 hitter entering today, but hasn't faced a strike in this at-bat yet, 3-0.
Lisco did start game 1 today, grabbed a hit there, so he's not been completely shut out on the day.
And he'll draw ball 4 and a walk. So his third time reaching base if you include the fielder's choice today. And Fleischer will come up to bat. He's had an interesting game. Catcher interference, hit by pitch, walk. So if we're looking at that order of events, maybe a hit is next. He's done pretty much everything else. And he'll bat with a runner on first and no outs. And he'll take ball 1.
Really, Ozzie Fleischer's day today has not been marked by what's going on at the plate. It's been what's happening in the field. We've mentioned this so many times on the call, but he is such a rock-solid shortstop over there. Again, former NESCAC Defensive Player of the Year, has made so many great plays to his left, to his right, in front of him, behind him, moving around, sliding, doing everything needs to be done to make all those ground outs happen, as Pedeswa pitches to so many ground balls.
Sacerdote having a hard time finding the strike zone. He walked Lisco on 4 pitches, and he's now down 3-0 to Ozzie Fleischer. Could put 2 runners on with 8 pitches if he throws a ball right here. That one down the middle for strike 1.
Yes, Sacerdote is looking like he's returning a bit to the tendencies of starting pitcher Jackson Melendi. A lot of runner goes pitch inside there for the walk. Another walk right there. A lot of getting down in the count, a lot of walks, hit by pitches, another walk right there, as I mentioned. That is number 7 on the day for Tufts.
Sacerdote came in today only 4 walks in 14 1/3 innings. He has struggled a little bit out of the pen. I think Bowdoin wanted him to give them some stretch run and save the bullpen a little bit in a game that they are a ways out of at the moment. That will be it for Sacerdotes Day. So we'll take a quick break as we find out who will take over moving forward here in the bottom of the 7th. All right, pitching change, and we're back. It's going to be Jeremiah Chessie entering the game for Bowdoin. Tell me a little about him, Sebastian.
Yeah, Chessie is a freshman out of Saco, Maine. Little in-state action for the Bowdoin team. This is his third pitching appearance on the year. Has pitched in, well, this is his first in conference play, as that one is bunted, will go foul. So far, 4 1/3 innings on the year, 2 earned runs, 4 hits, 4 walks. So command issues have also been a problem for him. Not a great sign considering what Bowdoin pitching has been like today. Chessie also does play the infield, has started a few games for Bowdoin this year, yet to record a hit, but has had a good number of at-bats and a couple of RBIs.
That one high and inside. So 1-1 the count to Cade Abraham. 2 men on here in the bottom of the 7th and a 6-0 ball game. Jumbo's leading. They've been in the lead since the first inning. Abraham feigns bunt, pulls it back. That'll be a ball.
Abraham 0 for 2 on the day, does have a walk, also a ground out and a strikeout. One of only 2 Tufts hitters to be struck out today, the other being McCullough.
He gets the bunt down, but foul yet again. So 2-2 the count, and probably takes away the possibility of a bunt. But interesting to see the Jumbos looking for the bunt, trying to advance the runners. We've seen them ground into a double play earlier. Maybe some bad luck with runners on early in the inning. This time, Abraham will have to swing away. 2-2 now. He walked in his first at-bat, grounded out in his second at-bat, and struck out in his third. 2-2 pitch. Is strike 3 called?
Late
breaking ball over the middle of the plate. Dramatic call by the umpire, but counts the same. Abraham goes down.
Yeah, even though Chessie was able to achieve the strikeout there, again, another long count. Looks like it's going to be a problem for all 3 of the Bowdoin pitchers today. Tufts hitters just fouling pitches off, not chasing away, finally getting a strikeout. I say not chasing away, but right there, McCullough definitely fooled on that pitch way outside.
Despite the lead the Jumbos have, McCullough has not been a huge part of that, at least offensively. 0 for 4 today, a strikeout and 3 groundouts, though he has made some nice plays in the field. Has a chance to change that today. Fouls that one off, and he's quickly behind 0-2.
I think Tufts Jumbos will gladly take the 0 for 4 performance today, considering just that one play he made earlier in the game, ranging all the way over to his right to make, honestly, one of the greatest diving stops I've ever seen from an infielder at any level, and then an incredible throw to first base, protecting the very solid pitching performance that he was backing up today.
If Pedeswa keeps this up, we'll definitely be looking back at some of the plays that Fleischer and McCullough made in the infield. But right now, batting with 2 men on, and still now a 1-2 count. We'll run it to 2-2.
Yet another long count, long at bat for a Tufts player. Another pitch in the dirt. That's also been a problem for Bowdoin today. Pitches have just been coming down, and hitters have not been chasing that low pitch down low in the zone and below the zone.
McCullough puts it on the ground of the shortstop. 6, 4, 3. And the double play turned adeptly by the Bowdoin defense will get out of the jam. McCullough grounds into a double play, and that's the end of the 7th inning. We've got 2 innings to go. We'll be back for the top of the 8th, and we'll continue to see Connor Pedeswa on the mound. The shortstop, number 10, Will Cook, leading off the inning for Bowdoin. Connor Pedeswa still on the mound here. It's been a masterpiece of a performance thus far through 7 innings.
Jared, in the world of basketball, NBA playoffs are starting soon. One of the top seeds in the NBA is the Boston Celtics, our hometown team right here. Celtics star player is a guy by the name of Jason Tatum. Tatum, like any other basketball player, wears a number on the back of his jersey. That number might be significant. I don't know. Just might be.
Doing a lot right now. Negative reviews from as that one is driven into right field, and a jumping catch in right field takes care of it from Cooper Smith. The Tufts defense has come out to play today. That one, a rocket off the bat. Looked like trouble, but no, sir. 1 out. And as if God was coming down to tell you that your analogy was terrible.
Come on. It was okay.
It got saved at the end.
I did think I may have jinxed a certain event. I don't know what kind of event I would have jinxed, but like there was a possibility of some event occurring in the world today, and I thought for a second I would have jinxed that, but maybe I didn't. Batter for Bowdoin now is Chris Dirks, catcher. Dirks 0 for 2 on the day with a couple of flyouts. Notably, the only starter on Bowdoin to not have grounded out today. So he's been one of the few players that's been able to get Pedezwa's pitches into the outfield. Unfortunately for him and the Bowdoin team, not to a place where any production could be created.
That's a strike. 1-2 now. Chris Dirks at bat. The 1-2 pitch. Just outside. The 2-2 pitch from Pedezwa. Runs in and hits the batter. Dirks will reach on the hit by pitch.
Not Bowdoin's first base runner on the day. First in a while, though, since the early innings when they were able to reach a couple of batters via the walk.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the last base runner in this game was in the third inning, excuse me, when Ruben Siegel walked. Since then, Pedezwa had retired 14 batters in a row. The hit by pitch will end that streak. And Pedezwa will look to reset against the center fielder, Cal Thompson. Foul tip to the mitt. And a strike for Pedezwa.
Thompson, like so many Bowdoin hitters, is 0 for 2 on the day. He has a ground out and a fly out that he was able to pick up in his last at-bat.
Fooled on that pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-2 now the count. Pedezwa looking to throw in a strikeout. He's through 85 pitches so far. 5 strikeouts on the day. That one through the hole on the left side, and the first base hit of the day for the Bowdoin offense comes off the bat of Cal Thompson. Pedezwa took a no-hit bid through 7 1/3 innings here today. It was a valiant effort from Pedezwa, who has been locked in all day long. This will be the first trouble he's really had to deal with all day. Men on first and second. And quickly ahead 0-2.
Yeah, tough to see for Tufts side anybody getting a hit today after those hitless innings earlier. That's going to be another one right there as that one goes into the gap.
So it'll be back-to-back hits. That one in the gap. Throw comes in, but a run will score. And after 7 1/3 no-hit innings, back-to-back hits will get Bowdoin on the board. The score now 6-1, and there will be runners on first and third with only one out here in the top of the 8th inning.
Yeah, we might just be seeing the end of Pedezwa's dominance today. Pitch count is getting up there, up around that 90 mark, as Tufts coaches will come out to talk to him.
Don't think this will be a pitching change. Check in on Pedezwa. The last Tufts no-hitter was in 2012. It was a 7-inning no-hitter from Kevin Gilchrist. As far as we can tell, the last 9-inning no-hitter thrown by a Tufts pitcher was on April 19th, 1986. Jeff Bloom threw 3 consecutive no-hitters that season, the last one being on April 19th before a hit broke up his attempt at 4 in a row. Podeswa will not be able to get that done today, unfortunately, but it has been a marvelous start nonetheless. He's over 90 pitches now, and the count is 1-0 as Podeswa looks to fire yet again. That ball is smoked into deep left field. It is brought in by the center fielder, and a runner on third will tag and score. Abraham tracked it down. Ball looked hard hit off the bat, but hung up there for a little while. Second run of the game will come in, but now 2 outs on the inning.
Yeah, that was sort of the opposite of one of the home runs, the one from Kim Smith, that we saw from Tufts earlier today. In that case, the ball just sort of got up, looked like a lazy fly ball, speaking of the Ben Leonard home run that did not look like a home run off the bat, that had some carry on it. That was sort of an opposite one, ball that kind of died out there.
Podeswa gets ahead of Kevin Murray here. Murray 0 for 3. He's grounded out in all 3 at-bats. Check swing. Appeal to first base. He did not go. Podeswa's line has turned from basically perfect to a little bit of damage as he's let in 2 runs here in the inning, but if he can get out of it with just those 2 runs, Tufts will be happy and in a position to try to win this game in the 9th inning. Fastball swung on foul, tips to the mitt, and now 2 strikes. Podeswa would love to get out of here with a strikeout and put a cherry on top of a wonderful performance.
Yeah, Jared, I don't think today's performance for Podeswa is going to be remembered for the line. I don't think at this point it really matters all too much for him. It was 7 innings of just pure, utter dominance against one of the best teams in the country. A team that, not even in a different week, day, or year, same day today, defeated Tufts handily by a score of 8-0. Being able to just shut down a team like that, he's going to remember that the rest of his college career, the rest of his life, no matter what the final box score looks like.
Podeswa induces a ground out to second base, and if that is it for him on the day, it was quite the performance. Podeswa goes 8 innings, 2 earned runs, and 97 pitches. He had 5 strikeouts, 2 walks, did not give up a hit until there was 1 out left in the 7th inning. He finishes with 2 hits allowed. The Jumbos take a 6-2 lead into the bottom of the 8th inning. Ben Leonard leading off the bottom of the 8th inning. He'll take strike 1 from Jeremiah Chessie, who is in his 2nd inning out of the bullpen today. Leonard notably went deep in his last at-bat. He's walked and gone deep today. Breaking ball hits the outside corner, and it will be an 0-2 count.
Yeah, that home run from Leonard, his 3rd on the year, 1st in about a month. So great to see from him. Such a Big confidence boost as well, as that one is laced to left. Will be playable, though.
1 out now in the bottom of the 8th. Leonard flies out to left field, and that brings up the third baseman, James Henshin. He has doubled twice and walked today. Both of his doubles very hard hit into the left center field gap.
Yeah, a couple doubles off the wall for Henshin. We've seen some great defense from him over at third. Just a great day overall for the freshman as he looks at a pitch come inside.
Ball 1 in the dirt. Henshin would love his third double of the day or better. That one a skosh high, and it'll be 2-0.
A skosh?
A skosh.
Huh?
Never heard that before?
No.
It's like a smidge, a little bit.
A skosh?
Skosh. I did not make that up. That's a real phrase. I don't know how to spell it, though.
I don't like it. For those of you watching, skosh is not a real word.
It is a word.
The internet does not lie, Jared. I'm sorry.
Feel free to leave a comment if you've ever used skosh as a word before.
I don't think we'll be getting...
Oh, and the comments are flooding in.
Ooh.
Hundreds of viewers are agreeing with me. Henshin gonna foul that one back and out of play.
Fortunately, I think the only lie that does exist in the internet then is the lie right there that the comments are being flooded.
And Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines skosh, S-K-O-S-H, as a small amount, a bit or a smidgen. And they call that vindication, as James Henshin draws a walk. That's ball 4. He'll take first base.
Nah, I don't care. See, we go to Merriam-Webster here. We've got
A lot of synonyms.
We've
for
got some
word
words
real.
like scintilla, driblet.
You're going to tell me the dictionary is wrong?
I am actually. You know, there's actually two types of dictionaries. There's reactionary dictionaries, and there's
That's
like
true.
dictionaries that create language.
This is a reactionary dictionary.
This is a reactionary dictionary.
That ball hit to third base. Could be a double play. On to first, and not in time. Got the out at second. And although Kevin Murray tried to walk off the field, the umpire rules safe at first, and now 2 outs in the inning, and there will be a runner still at first base.
Jared, I'd like to bring your attention to the fact that yassify is in the Merriam-Webster dictionary.
It's a word that people use.
That doesn't mean it's a word, though. Just like skosh is not a word.
I'm pretty sure they decide what is a word and what's not. First pitch swung on and hit a mile high into right field. Coming in on it and making the catch is Ruben Siegel. He went back on it originally and had to double forward. He does get it into his glove to end the inning. So now, through 8, it's a 6-2 game, and it all comes down to this now, the top of the 9th inning. Bowdoin needs 4 runs to tie, 5 to take the lead. We'll have a pitching change, and we'll be back at the start of the 9th inning. Back here for the top of the 9th inning, Merriam-Webster's word of the day is kitsch. Kitsch, K-I-T-S-C-H. Kitsch, which is defined as something referring to something that appeals to
And
popular
while
low
Jared
taste
gaps
and is
away,
often
Derek
cheap or
Damaris will begin pitching for Tufts, taking over in the 9th inning. He is a freshman out of Washington, D.C., has basically been Tufts' best freshman pitcher on the year. 2 ERA, 111 whip in his 6 appearances, 12 strikeouts in 9 innings.
Damaris will look to close the door on Bowdoin. Lucas Chai in to bat. He struck out twice and grounded out so far today. First pitch from Damaris right down the middle for a strike. Tufts would be happy to get out of this one with a win after getting shut out in the first game of this doubleheader. Second pitch from Damaris is well outside. One pitch from Damaris is popped into left field. Long run for the left fielder. A jumping catch. It's off the glove. Everyone freezes. It's going to be a long single from Lucas Chai. Ben Leonard made a play on the ball, jumped, but couldn't get a hold of it. I think Chai maybe lost track of the ball, couldn't tell if Leonard had it or not, and froze up at first. So what could have been extra bases and could have been an out ends up as a single with no outs here. And it will bring up Liam Foley, who's 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts so far today. He is now down 0-1.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate on the base paths right there for Bowdoin. That was a ball that, after it got away from Ben Leonard, it was really just kind of sitting there in no man's land out in left field. Chai easily could have made it to second had he gotten a slightly different read on the situation. Just in the time it would have taken Leonard to get the ball back in his hands and throw it into the infield. But instead, he is there on first base.
1-1 now to Foley with a man on first. Damaris delivers and delivers a strike. One, two count. Damaris fires and fought off. One-two pitch again is well outside, well high from Damaris. Patient at bat thus far from Foley, and he works it to 2-2.
Damaris on the year, although this is not a save opportunity, has not yet achieved a save. This is probably the closest he has gotten at this point to such a situation as he blows the fastball right by him.
So strike 3 swinging off the high heat from Damaris, and that's the first out here in the top of the 9th. We're going to have a pinch hitter, Connor Moriarty, will enter the game for Bowdoin. Moriarty, a .340 hitter with 7 RBIs and an .872 OPS in 17 starts. He is pinch hitting for the pitcher Jeremiah Chessie after the team sacrificed the designated hitter earlier today. First pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, Moriarty, the last member of that kind of trifecta of talented freshmen brought in by Coach Connolly in the offseason. He has been a fantastic starting player, definitely all rookie team for the NESCAC material. Although I do have to question the choice of wearing a hoodie underneath the jersey.
It's a style.
It's an idea.
0-2 count now. Damaris looking to set down another batter via the strikeout. A double play would end the game. And Damaris fires just high. Wind is still blowing out to right field. The 1-2 pitch from Damaris is strike 3 on the outside corner. Didn't have to appeal. Didn't matter if he went. It found the zone. And that'll be the second strikeout of the inning for Damaris. 2 down now in the top of the ninth. 1 out away from a win for the Jumbos.
Will Cook is the last hope for Bowdoin. Another one of those star freshmen. Hasn't quite been Cook's day. Has, of course, not achieved a hit like the majority of his team. Does have a walk on the day, though, so he has reached base.
0-1 pitch swung on and missed. So 0-2, and the Jumbos are 1 pitch away from splitting today's doubleheader. Damaris with 2 strikeouts in the inning and an 0-2 count. 6-2 ball game. Man on first. Damaris sets and fires. A check swing. It's dropped. No appeal. That'll be ball 1.
A good job of the young batter, Will Cook, to hold off on the swing there.
Damaris sets again. 1-2 pitch. High and outside. Two-two pitch from Damaris. Wanted the outside corner, did not get it. 3-2 is the count.
Will Cook has worked this at bat from an 0-2 to a 3-2, keeping the Polar Bears alive. 2 of those pitches, most recent one and the pitch previous to last, super close.
3-2 pitch. Flied and called for by the shortstop Fleischer. He'll put it away, and that will do it. The Tufts University Jumbos will take the second leg of this doubleheader by a score of 6-2. The Jumbos recorded 7 hits on the day on the back of a masterpiece performance from Connor Pedeswa. Pedeswa went 7 1/3 no-hit innings before giving up 2 hits and 2 runs over 8. 2 home runs from Tufts batters Ben Leonard and Cooper Smith propelled the offense, and their final score will be 6-2. The Jumbos will advance to 11-13 on the season. Bowdoin will fall to 20-5. My name is Jared Cohen. I've been joined by Sebastian Gold, and directing this game, Noah Goldstein. It has been a pleasure. Please stay home safely and have a great night. Thank you from JumboCast.